Okay, I only get so much time before the video runs out, so this is probably going to take me a couple videos to do one part of what would be like the first chapter. So anyway, I'm not sure what I was talking about. My mother's abuse, and being little. And I think I was talking about the things she would say to me. Anyway. So, it wasn't anything for me to hear from my siblings when I was upset and crying at social functions in church, things like that. To shut up, we don't want to hear what you have to say, which imprinted upon me that what I had to say wasn't, worth anything and wasn't valid, and it just wasn't important. And, everybody did that to me. And, as a result, I developed, some mental health disorders. And one of the ones that I developed, and I think this came from the abuse, was a dissociative identity disorder. I remember from a very young age, when I was real little, having this friend, invisible friend, named Miranda with me. And I think that developed out of a doll that my grandmother had gotten me for Christmas one year. I'm pretty sure I have a picture of my grandmother in here that I can show you. She used to buy me the neatest stuff. I mean, really, she did. She bought me just some real nice stuff. And she had bought me these dolls called Fashion Walker dolls, and one of them I named Miranda. And actually, I think the picture is in here. Actually, no, I know it is. And an invisible friend came into my life named Miranda. Well, yeah, see, here's my grandmother. Sorry about the shaking there. This lady right here. It's the only grandparent I have any memories of. She died when I was 18, and everybody else was gone, either by the time I was born or when I was 2. My dad's parents had died, from what I gather, by the time I was born. I heard they weren't nice people, so maybe I just dodged a bullet there, even getting to know them. And then my grandfather, on my mother's side, we called him Papa. He died when I was 2. I do have a picture of me with him when I was little. I wish I could remember him, but I don't. He was a good man. I mean, the picture's kind of blurry, but that's me and my papa, my sister, and he must have died shortly after that. But anyway, Miranda is still here. I have 4 basic people that are with me at all times. I know that you can't see them. I know that you can't hear them. I see them and hear them. They are me. I don't have the form of multiple personality where I actually have lapses in time of things I don't remember doing. Crimes I don't remember committing. Nothing like that happens. But I have these people here. But I do know they are parts of me. 2 of them are named Misty. There is Miranda, and there is a boy who is a grown man, but he never talks. He doesn't say anything. He never has. I have a theory as to what that represents for me. Don't really know, because I've never really had much therapy on it. So I couldn't really tell you what the actual reason is that he never says anything. He's just there. Even though he looks like a grown man, I believe that he is a toddler. I believe that he's around 3 years old. Miranda is the same age as me. She's grown up with me my entire life. And if I was to say that I am any of these personalities, this would be Miranda that is talking now. She's very sensible. She's very intelligent. She's very calm. She's a good person. She makes a lot of sense to people when she talks. And this would be my best introduction of Miranda. The other two that actually have my name, the two Misties, are teenagers. And one is very, very angry. And unfortunately, I experience her emotions a lot. The reason I have so much insight into these things is because I was in therapy for a lot of years. Growing up from the age of 13 to 16, I was in several different hospitals, like 4 or 5, and had a lot of therapy in there. And I've had therapy since. So, it's one of those things that I have a lot of insight into it because I've had the therapy. So I have an understanding of the dissociative identity disorder. It's just something I've had to learn to accept about myself, that I can't get away from it. And it is what it is. It is me. It's part of me. It's who I am. And I understand it freaks a lot of people out. I have conversations with these people. There are times when I'm driving down the road where I'm talking and there's nobody in the truck with me. Well, I'm not talking to myself, but I am talking to myself. They ask me questions, I answer them. I don't speak for them. I don't do that. Sorry about that. But I do answer their questions. So in a sense, that whole thing about I'm not crazy, I talk to myself all the time. It's when I start answering myself is when I'm going to be concerned. I do answer myself. But I'm not really answering me, I'm answering them. And I'm not really sure why that dissociative identity disorder is why it developed that way instead of the typical multiple personality. But it did. Maybe it's because somewhere I knew I would need somebody to be with me, that I would be alone at some point. I don't know. I just know that's what it is. And it's been my whole life, and I had a very hard time coming to terms with it and accepting it and being okay with it. But it is what it is. My disorders, other than dissociative identity disorder, are post-traumatic stress disorder. That has been a constant in my life since far back as I can remember. I have reactive attachment disorder, which means that I do not get attached to people anymore as easily as I used to. I've been with my husband for 6 years, and I don't think I was really attached to him the way he was to me until about year 3 or 4. I'm just now developing an attachment to my son. I've always loved my son. I have always been very protective of him. I am a mother, but he has always been more attached to me than I have been to him. And that's the reactive attachment disorder. It's also, where I don't have a lot of sympathy for people that are hurt. I don't really feel anything. Now, I know that scares some people, but what do you want me to do? I mean, it's the facts. It is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it. And there's always another one. PTSD, reactive attachment disorder, dissociative identity. Oh, borderline personality disorder. I don't know why, but I have the hardest time remembering that one. I got diagnosed with that in 2004. And I guess it goes along with people that have lived through the things that I've lived through. It just goes along with that. From what I understand, I don't know a lot about it. I'm sure I'll learn more as I go through therapy here in the next few months. I'll learn more. But those are my diagnoses. Some developed later in life, or maybe they just weren't diagnoses at the time. I don't know. I just know the PTSD has been one that has been diagnosed for a long time, ever since I was maybe 13, 14 years old. At one time, somebody told me I was bipolar, and I'm not bipolar. I dated a bipolar man for 7 years. I am not bipolar. So, I've had a lot of shit happen to me. And, I don't remember a lot of my childhood. I remember very blurry things. I remember, like I said, my mom coming into my room in the middle of the night and beating the hell out of me because my room wasn't clean. I remember her waiting at the end of the hall with a wire hanger behind her back, and me knowing that when I went down that hall, what was going to happen. And my sister trying to protect me from that. Who knows? I don't remember what caused that. I just remember that day. I remember my mom standing at the end of the hall and me just being terrified to go down the hall. It's not something that I like to remember. I remember good times. I remember Christmases and birthdays and, things that were good. There was some good mixed in there with the bad. It would be hard for me to say that my life was 100% bad, because it wasn't 100% bad, I mean, there were good things. My mom took me roller skating on the weekends on Saturdays. She was in school to get her GED, I remember, and she would take me to the local roller rink in Brandon, Florida, and I would skate while she was doing schoolwork. She would take me with her when she was going to school at night, and there was a daycare something or other in one of the classrooms, and I would go in there, and we'd be in there while parents were in classes. So I mean, there was some good stuff. There were, my mom did things with just me. I mean, she wasn't horrible every day. It's just she was horrible more often than not. That's all I can tell you. And it left a huge impact on me. It left a huge, huge, huge impact on me. Still affects me to this day. I know that we lived in the same house for the longest time, and then when I think I was around 8 or 9, we moved to another, I kind of remember it being a trailer, but it was like a log cabin. I remember living in that up until we moved to North Carolina when I was 9 years old. And, things didn't necessarily get better. Moving to North Carolina didn't make it better. But that's where I'm going to stop for now. When we moved to North Carolina. It was, we moved there in the summertime. I was 9 years old, so that would have been about 1984. And then I'm going to pick up from there. I don't want to make too many of these recordings. But yeah, that's the beginning of my life. I do want to ask that people don't look at this as me trying to get pity. I don't want people to look at this as me trying to get sympathy, because my life has been what it's been, and I probably wouldn't change anything about it, because I am who I am today as a result of it. I don't hate my mother, but I do hate my mother. I loved her very much, but I don't love her. My life has been very, very confusing, and I can't really do much about that at this point. All I can do is go with it and live my life and not do to others what was done to me. Not do to my son what was done to me. Not treat my husband the way that I saw my mother treat men. When I say there were some good things, my mom dated these guys that would come and get me after, kindergarten, and they would take me to the beach, and they would take me to eat. I remember going to restaurants and eating things. My mother worked at restaurants, and they dropped by there. And really nice guys. One was a paraplegic. There were two Sams. They were across the street from each other. same trailer park. Nice guys. You know, they were great to hang out with. I don't know if my mom actually dated these guys. Actually, I don't know if they dated these guys. I remember one of them, I was like obsessed with telling this guy he couldn't look at my Barbie dolls. And he would always, you know, tell me, I'm going to look at your Barbies. And I'd, you know, get all upset. Or, you know, some of them letting me climb them. You know how you know, back in the day, and I don't know, maybe people still do this, but you grab a child by the wrist and you let them walk up you. I remember one of them doing that. One of them, you know, swinging me around by the arms, you know, fun things. My grandmother was a good person. You know, I enjoyed spending time with my grandmother, and I miss her a lot. Of course, she'd be over 100 now if she was still alive, but sometimes I wish she was still there. I miss her. So, I mean, I'm not doing this to gain sympathy. I'm not doing this to gain pity. I'm not doing this for any reason other than I need to get this out. I need to get my story out there. And that's all I'm doing. If you feel sympathy for me, great. If you feel pity for me, great. Don't tell me about it. I don't want to know that you feel sorry for me. I don't feel sorry for me. I don't, now if you've read my post on Facebook, I can be quite negative at times. I can have a meltdown. I try not to do that. I try not to have those episodes, but at the same time, once they hit, I can't stop them. I can't, you know, there's nothing I can do. And that's part of my mental health disorders. And that's why I'm going to therapy, to maybe learn how to prevent that stuff, to learn how to be a productive member of society. Right now, I'm not. I'm not productive. I don't do anything. I don't go anywhere. You know, my life is in my bedroom, basically. That's not a life. That's not living. So, you know, I mean, it's doing the best I can. You know, I just can't do any more than that. So if there's, you know, I welcome your comments. I welcome feedback. I welcome constructive criticism. Negative comments will be deleted. If it's something that really irks me, I'm probably going to say something nasty back. Maybe I will try not to do that, because everybody has a right to their opinion. They do not, however, have a right to put me down. And I won't stand for that. So if you're going to say anything negative or, you know, talk down to me in comments, then I'm just going to, you know, delete your comment. Like the video, dislike the video. Subscribe to me, don't subscribe to me. This is my life. This is my story. And I'm hoping in some small way that I can help somebody who might be in a situation where I found myself many years ago at 24 and pregnant, or at 16 and on the streets. Maybe you feel hopeless. Maybe you go to the local library because you're homeless just to get out of the cold, and you get on YouTube from there and you happen to run across a video. You know, maybe I can give you some sort of feeling of hope. If I do, fantastic. But, you know, I welcome comments. So that's it for today. I will do another video soon and continue from when we moved to North Carolina. So, just remember, you may have to fight the same battle more than once to win it. Okay? Bye.